Did you know that EVs still make a big environmental impact even though they don't create emissions? Quote, the environmental battle cry, save the rainforest, needs to be replaced with the new slogan, reminiscent of this come from the Vietnam War. It was necessary to destroy the village in order to save it, end quote, verbally. In this speech, I'll be persuading you on how you should keep your internal combustion engine and not switch to an EV. I'll be showing the benefits of an ICE compared to an EV. First up, conveniency, or charging. EVs use a battery to produce enough energy to send the EV into motion. But what about the charging time of this vehicle? There are 3 levels, a level 1 charger, level 2, and a level 3. A level 1 charger is your traditional plug-in charger like your phone charger except for a car. They cost up to $300 and they're the cheapest and slowest to charge. The charging from 0 to 100 can be 11 to 20 hours. Personally, I would not want to wait 11 hours for my vehicle to charge. A level 2 charger has to be installed by professionals or electricians, which would cost you a couple $100. And the charger itself ranges from $350 to $900, and it can charge from 0 to 100 in 3 to 8 hours. Now, for people who drive a lot, like me, this is not very convenient. Usually, I have to drive the Hutch for PSEO, and I have to drive to school and to Darwin and stuff like that. And charging this amount of time would take too long for me. Now, for a level 3 charger, it is the most expensive. It costs up to $40,000 just for one port. This is one of the reasons why it's only seen in public places and like a gas station. The utilities and installation is pretty expensive. It can jump your utilities up by a dramatic amount, but that whole cost will give you a charging capability of 0 to 100 in 30 minutes to an hour. Now, for gasoline vehicles, gas vehicle can be filled at your local gas station near you only in a couple minutes. Gas prices may vary, but right now in Litchfield, Minnesota, it's about 3 gallons. I think that's a valuable cost. I think that's, oh goodness. Quote, moreover, it takes a longer time to charge a BEV battery than to fuel an ICE EV with gas, end quote, woo. Now the cost. EVs are very expensive. Their upfront cost is way higher than the average ICE EV. The cost for maintenance is lower due to less moving parts, though you still have to pay for higher utility costs. Quote, it is predicted that the consumers will spend less on operational expenses for EVs, such as paying for electricity and repair and maintenance. Even still, the upfront capital costs for EVs and their higher manufacturing costs still bring the total price for the consumer above the price for an ICE. End quote, Raj. But for gasoline vehicles are a lot less expensive up front, which consumers like me enjoy. Maintenance costs can be low if you take care of your vehicle, like doing normal oil changes, which you can do yourself. And the cost will be less if you take care of your vehicle. Now, as you know, EVs use a battery instead of an engine, and average EV has a battery size of 40 kilowatts and has roughly a 34.6 kilowatt hour per 100 miles, which would be around 160 miles for the total range on a full charge. Now, if you want a high-end vehicle, which is probably $60,000 to $70,000, like a Tesla, you would get a 108 kilowatt battery, a state charge of 100% with the same consumption, you'd get 312 miles out of it. Now there's accessories. The use of accessories for an electric vehicle, since there is no engine, the use of the accessories will decrease the range of an EV. For example, heating. For Minnesota, we need heating because our winters are extremely cold. Even though that it takes a little bit of gas just to, when you start up your vehicle so you can warm it up, it's a lot less consuming than an EV. An EV sends electricity through like a normal conventional heater, and it blows the fan. This process can decrease the range to almost half, and that would mean for the Tesla it would be under 50 miles instead of 212. Now, the average miles per gallon for a car today is 24 miles per gallon, and an average 12-gallon tank, which equals up to 288 miles. And the EV was, at the high end, was 312, and the gas vehicle is much cheaper, which is concerning. Now, this is the highest miles per gallon non-hybrid vehicle. It had 49 miles per gallon, and with a 12-gallon tank, it would equal up to 588 miles per tank. The 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage. Quote, average range for any EV under 40K was 187 miles. Meanwhile, the lowest range for an ICE EV is 240, with some vehicles able to achieve up to 703 miles, end quote, Raj. Quote, according to the International Energy Agency, an EV requires 6 times the mineral inputs of a comparable ICE EV. EV batteries are very heavy and are made with exotic and very flammable materials, quote, Urban. EV batteries are usually mined in third world countries. The materials consist of nickel, lithium, cobalt, and copper. Now, going back to my quote from the beginning of the intro, the environmental battle cry, save the rainforest, needs to be replaced with a new slogan reminiscent of this one from the Vietnam War. It was necessary to destroy the village in order to save it. This one is for the article of nickel. Nickel is usually mined in the rainforests of Indonesia, and they get affected very negatively. For lithium, it is found in 3 South American countries, Chile, Argentina, and Bolivia. The mining of this contaminates the soil and water due to the high uses of salt. Cobalt. Cobalt is the most dangerous to be mined. A lot of it is mined with child labor, and I think it's Congolese. 255,000 people mine, and 40,000 of these can be children, and at the age of like 6. Now, copper. Copper is mined in Chile, and it's open pit mining, which affects the surrounding environment very negatively. And okay, these are my sources. And quote, today's executive action further reinforces the President's directive to buy American, except for clean energy, raw materials, and ensure that equity in the U.S., but not in third world countries, environmental justice in the U.S., but nowhere else, are key considerations, end quote, verbally. Now I've showed you reasons of why you should not switch to an EV and keep your normal conventional gasoline vehicle, and I hope today you see why EVs are not what you think they would be good for, and thank you for listening to my speech.